Hey, this is Tama, and today I want to talk to you about whether or not LPR is a permanent condition for life. Now, I'm on a lot of message boards with other LPR and GERD sufferers, and there's this nasty thing going around where people think that LPR and GERD are permanent conditions for life. It's going to be terrible. And I know where you get this. You get this straight from your doctors. You get it straight from medical literature. The doctors have this opinion that basically if you have acid reflux and you have to be treated with a PPI, or you have chronic acid reflux, you basically have that for life. If the PPIs work, they just put you on more and more of them, and they have no plan to get you off. Even though you should really, based on the manufacturers of PPIs, they say you should only be on these for 6 weeks. Well, the doctors are like, well, we know that doesn't really work. It doesn't solve the problem, it just solves the symptoms. So they know their patients have to be on these things for life. And that's not healthy, number one. And number two, you're not actually fixing the cause of the problem. You're just pouring some PPIs on it and fixing just the symptoms. And oftentimes what really happens is that people get slowly worse because you can't just suppress your acid forever and expect your body to be okay with it. So back to the question, is LPR a permanent condition for life? Definitely not. The thing is, if you treat the actual causes of reflux, you can defeat this thing. A lot of the causes aren't even that complicated to solve. The problem is that oftentimes there's a cascade where you started with a bacterial imbalance because you took too many antibiotics or something, for example. And then once you had that, you had too much pressure and it kept your LES open. And then after that just was going on for too long, your LES just got really lazy and it actually doesn't really close on its own anymore at all. So now you have an LES problem in addition to a bacterial overgrowth problem. So you can't solve one without solving the other. Or you can, but you're not going to solve your reflux for good. You might get some improvement, but then you'll still have symptoms and you'll probably ditch whatever crazy thing you had to do. Like maybe you're taking a bunch of pills, or maybe you had to change your diet really significantly. And if you're not actually symptom free, it won't be worth continuing. If you're not actually, if you're 80% symptom free, you might just continue that for life. But the fact is, if you just hit all the things at once, you may actually end up 100% symptom free. And hopefully you'll end up like me, where I've actually recently been kind of running an experiment to try to provoke acid reflux in myself, and I just can't. I physically do not have acid reflux. I have to eat, I'm allergic to rice, so if I eat rice, I probably would get it, but I had some a couple weeks ago on accident, just in a bar or something that it was in, and I forgot to read it. Not a bit of acid reflux. So I just don't have reflux anymore, and hopefully we can get you there too. Yeah, to answer the question, I truly believe that if you get to the core causes of acid reflux, you can actually heal yourself. You can heal your body. And what we're trying to do also in my program is not only just directly heal the causes, but also just give your body some space to heal itself. So for example, if you're having a lot of damage to your vocal cords and you may think, oh man, this could possibly be permanent. If you can give your vocal cords a long enough break away from the acid reflux, your body can start to heal them itself. The same is true if you have ulcers. The same is true for just about everything. Your body knows what to do. It knows how to heal it. But you really have to stop doing damage, first of all. Then there are some supplements that can help you fix the damage, scientifically backed, and none of this crazy woo-woo stuff, because I'm only interested in what works. And healing the damage doesn't mean just stopping the actual mechanism of damage, so stopping the acid. It also means, well, what caused that? If for example you have a grain intolerance, it could be super low level. Lots of people don't react to grains in the short term. Maybe if you just eat them during that week, you're not going to see any difference because you eat them all the time. But if you cut them out for a while and then put them back in, after like some days or a week or something, the gut is going to start getting irritated again, and your entire gut is going to get inflamed. You might get leaky gut. You might start having autoimmune system problems again. These are kind of like longer term problems. So you have to create the space where you can actually give your body a break from these things and hopefully figure out which ones it is, so that you just don't go back there ever again. So for example, if you're grain intolerant and you choose to eat grains all the time, you might be able to like take a 90-day break from grains and then be okay and put them back in and feel like, oh, it's not that much worse. But in the long term, you'll probably end up with either the same problems recurring or other manifestations of the same irritation. If you're constantly causing your gut inflammation, or you're causing like a lot of extra work for your body, for your immune system, the consequences may not always be identical. This is why some of the symptoms are kind of like, they're all over the place, because you're just causing your whole body a crisis, and you want to stop doing that.